Welcome to this week's AI Roundup. We've got some fun stories for you this week, and we end up with one of our favorite topics, which is dumping on Elon Musk. So watch it to find out.
And you did the intro after all.
I did.
Friday AI
Welcome.
Round.
Oh, okay.
Peter did say he was going to do the intro.
Did he?
Yep.
I did.
All right.
It's okay.
Go ahead, Peter.
No. I want you to do it now, Mike.
I mean, the intro is what we record at the end, right?
Well, like the beginning.
That's true. No, Mike's right. I did say I was going to do the intro, which is what we do at the end. So I was going
That's fair. So, Mike,
all right, anyway.
you very clearly want to talk.
Yeah, all I was going to say is it's the Friday AI Roundup, Peter's favorite segment, and take it away, Peter.
Oh.
Yeah!
So I'm glad we had that whole discussion.
Excellent. That's good news. Right. Yes, we've got some fascinating stories for you this week that you probably have missed from your eagle-eyed AI watchers. That's us.
That's us.
First one that we saw this week, Worm GPT. This was sort of predictable and looks like it's in its fledgling stages, but it's basically a tool that cyber criminals can use to create business email compromise attacks or phishing emails. It's being advertised on the darknet. There's this particular article on /next has a couple of sort of phases that it went through. Like, first of all, they were advertising the beginning. They were like trying to sell access to some things, and then there were some examples of emails that it came up with, and then there's like it's trained on malware data apparently, although the author won't release the details of exactly what the training set is, and apparently it's pretty good according to the people who wrote the article. So yeah,
I wonder why or how it's different than just marketing software that does the exact same thing. It seems like it's just a positioning issue. It's just marketing that they're targeting malware authors, right? Or
I think that if you look at any phishing email that gets caught in your spam filter, there are any one of you who are watching, or Peter and Mike, I mean, all of us are going to have spam phishing emails right now, ready to go, ready to sample. One thing that's universally true is their English is trash. It is so bad.
Actually, this is a really interesting point, and I thought this but didn't verbalize it, and someone else pointed it out. So one of the things that people have always said, that I've always heard at least, is, and I think I've repeated it, is that the phishing emails are deliberately bad because they filter out anybody who's got half a brain. So anybody who's gonna fall for shitty grammar is much more likely to fall for the actual scam. But the whole point of this is to come up with more convincing emails.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Right. And do we know if Worm GPT just is a call to ChatGPT with like a nifty prompt?
No, I think it's basically a custom model.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's basically the selling feature of it. It's been trained on actual phishing emails or trained on malware data.
Well, then it can't be very good.
Well, I suppose if you trained it on phishing emails that got through spam
successful campaigns, if you could make it, but all it would take from Google, right, which they've probably already done, is to purchase a license from Worm GPT's creators and see what it makes, right? Like, I think it would be fairly easy for Google to start defending against this thing.
Maybe. I mean, I think one of the things about AI is that it's becoming very difficult to tell what's made by an AI and what isn't, even to humans. So I don't know. Anyway, I think it's just the beginning of the cat and mouse games, that side of things.
It's just email marketing.
Yeah, basically. There we go. So yeah, this is big news to some people. Mike has no interest in this whatsoever, but I found it kind of interesting. This is that Facebook have released Llama version 2. Llama is their open foundation large language model. And it has got explicit open, an explicit open license, which is really interesting because I think they're that I know of, the only mega company that is actually opening their models. Somebody did point out, Alexandra Delannoy did point out that there's a part of the license that says that if you have more than 700, if the model has more than 700 million active users, then you have to pay, which kind of it's still effectively free, but it's not technically open.
open.
The
code could still be open source, and you pay for the licensing, couldn't it?
Well, then it's not. Not technically open source.
I mean, isn't this what
there's so many different
Red Hat?
But there's so many different.
The software is
I was going to say
still paying licensing.
Right. It all depends on the license, I guess, is what it comes down to. Is what kind of license Meta is using to release it. I don't know what it is. We should have probably checked that before we talked about it. But
well, they wrote their own terms. They didn't just say this is released under whatever license.
Right.
I mean, I would say open source means the code is openly available, which it presumably is, but you still could charge people to use it, right?
It's not so much the code as the data, but yes, I think it's basically a clause designed to prevent people like Google and OpenAI using it for commercial use and just taking it and
stop people from doing what they're doing with ChatGPT right now.
Well, yeah, but they could do that with ChatGPT because that's they're still not gigascale. There's not over 700 million users. I mean, like Google isn't taking ChatGPT and doing that. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it's an attempt by Meta to control the AI ecosystem, which is one of these things that came up. You know, if you remember that article that someone wrote from Google that said we have no moat, but neither does OpenAI. And one of the key points was that only Facebook really has an advantage because they have been received thousands of man hours of free testing from their community. So yeah.
All right. I was scrolling through these. You shared this, Peter. As a European, not an American, you decided that it would be fun to mock our entire country, basically, is my takeaway.
So, okay, this is an article that says, it's a BuzzFeed article. I love the fact that we're going back to listicles from BuzzFeed and they're using AI and it's like explicitly, I love this. I feel so like early 2000s. The title of the article is like, I asked AI what Europeans think Americans from every single state looked like, and the results are just plain mean. And they kind of are.
Wow, they really hit hard on Alabama.
On so many of them.
Alaska's good.
Tennessee and all the South.
Arizona is funny. Arkansas is definitely accurate.
California.
See, I would say California is very accurate.
I want to go to California now.
Looking through these, the comment I made in Discord, which you definitely should join, because Discord is where it's at, is that they really did kind of nail it with a lot of it's mockery, but definitely join our Discord if I was unclear about that.
So a couple of questions I had though. It seems like
Florida.
Classic Florida man. And for people listening to the audio version of the podcast, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Don't you know by now?
Yeah.
You should just be on YouTube.
It's a video show. Come on, for God's sake. I know, I listen in my car. Whatever.
You listen to John Oliver in your car too.
Don't alienate our very few users.
Oh, they know who they are.
There's half a dozen of them.
Yeah, but half a dozen counts for us, man.
Wow, Hawaii is so accurate.
All these, like every one of these, you could say.
Oh my god, Idaho with a potato.
We're gonna have to make sure we have a link in the description, though. Anybody who wants to spend some more time.
Yeah,
on this. It's really funny.
So funny.
Full links. So I have a question. I think that I don't know if it would have been any different if it had asked Americans what Americans look like from each state. Would you? Like most Americans I've heard talk about this have gone, oh, that's spot on kind of thing. So
yeah, that's what, if you asked me to describe each state, I probably would start with something like this. Although wait until I get to my state and then we'll see if I agree with that or not.
Okay. What's
Or maybe I've already passed it. Do we
yeah,
know?
right. I was just thinking, like, you're gonna dox yourself there
New
by
Jersey, yeah. all
narrowing
these.
down which state
I
you're in.
love the New Mexico guy actually looks like an alien and has aliens around him.
And then there are aliens in New Mexico.
Or maybe the
just a
people in the
bunch of
background are what people think New Mexico residents look
people
like.
look like. Yeah.
New
New York
nailed it.
is
Yep,
just a
yep, yep.
Wall Street, bro. That's so funny.
So this is a React video, basically.
It's become just us reacting to AI generated stereotypes, I guess. Oklahoma is,
They're doing
I
a
guess,
train
the
heist.
1800s. Yeah.
I learned a lot about US states from this, I'd say.
Wait, Oregon is so accurate.
I feel like that could have
my
been
God.
like Seattle, also Washington. Maybe.
Yeah, Washington's a big coffee state. Seattle's a big coffee city. So
Yeah, but they're near
That's
each other,
Portland,
so that
Portland,
makes
Oregon,
sense.
right? Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
is just a chocolate.
Well,
kit?
we've got Hershey, and also
Oh,
Mars
okay.
factory. Mars, but
I
it's the
see.
home of Hershey, Pennsylvania.
So it's their whole identity.
So that's probably about
basically.
it. Yeah,
Got
that's
it.
probably about right. Yep,
American
yep.
chocolate is not chocolate.
Rhode
No,
Island.
it's
I mean,
so gross.
Bunch of douchebags.
Literally, it's not.
South Carolina is a bunch of old has-been
Old
football
fans.
dads.
South Dakota is just plains.
Nothing.
There's a guy
Literally
in the
nothing.
distance who even knows what he looks like. Yep.
Tennessee is that moonshine. Okay, Texas is
Yeah.
the single
Texas
most
is
accurate
amazing.
depiction of an American I've ever seen.
It's good.
If that was a hamburger instead of a cold cut sandwich, then
I love that it's like a ham sandwich burger, and he's
With a
just
sesame
got
bun.
a huge gun, a huge gut, and a cowboy hat. Like, dude, Utah
Utah's
is
That's where
actually
they-
kind of, it's almost offensive.
it's not bad. He
where
needs
they-
more wives though. It's all kids.
That's true. That's very true.
Or am I thinking of
Yeah.
no? That's Utah, right? The polygamy state?
Yeah, it's Utah.
Yeah,
It's Utah.
Vermont. Yeah.
Vermont.
I see. I don't know
Wow.
much about Vermont. That tells me a lot about Vermont.
Virginia.
I guess
Again,
Virginia's
it's kinda-
still stuck in the 1700s.
missing the time element here, but maybe that's how people in Virginia dress. I haven't been there in a while. I don't know. Is this guy in a bathtub on the street in Washington?
Is this supposed to be like it's raining so hard that he's just underwater all the
Yeah,
time?
he's like at the fish market or something with the
Oh, okay.
sitting in a fish barrel out on the street
Wow.
where it's also raining.
Yeah.
Mhm.
West
Whoa.
Virginia is very random.
That's like
Is he dancing with the pig or just or fighting?
Is it a pig or is it some kind of
pig
rat?
wrestler? It's
Pig
a
was
pig.
happy.
It's a pig.
But look at the claws and teeth.
I wouldn't worry too much about the details. This is AI generated.
It reminds me of
So-
the rodents of unusual size from Princess Bride. Wisconsin
From New
nailed
York.
it. Yeah,
Just cheese. Yeah.
just cheese.
Wow.
Clint Eastwood
Wyoming
in
is
that
literally
movie.
just Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. Yeah.
Yeah,
Generic cowboy.
So anyway, I don't know how long we spent on that. But that's probably half the show right there.
It was worth it.
That was a lot of fun. Okay, moving on. Stability. This guy, the Stability AI co-founder says Imad Mostak tricked him into selling his stake in a company that took how many hundreds of millions in funding? His shares would have been worth 150 million. I think they took raised more than 100 million at a $1 billion valuation. And basically, he sold his shares for $100.
Yeah.
And he's claiming, oh, the guy misled me and lied to me and showed me fake financial statements. I have a hard time feeling sympathy
it's
for him,
very
though.
possible. It's very possible that this guy is a liar, right? And he's just trying to get a piece. But it's never a good sign for any company to have this type of like black box drama where the CEO is accused of certain things. It's just a really bad, tainted look for future investors, current investors. Yeah.
Agreed.
No matter what the outcome of the court is, the damage is being done now, right? Like when you're targeting a CEO like this and you're saying like, he tricked me and he's a piece of shit. It's not a good look for you, right?
Well, it's
at a
bad
fresh
press,
company.
but
Yeah,
short of the trial happening and this guy being vindicated, like from the outside, he just looks like a clown to me so far.
totally, 100%. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that in a vacuum, it just looks terrible. Always.
I mean, maybe
like
jokes
any
on
type
us. He gets $150 million in a settlement, but
right. Who know exactly? And that would be even worse for the company, right? So like,
yes,
it's not a great look. And honestly, currently, LLMs specifically really got a bad set of things going on right
the
now.
gold rush.
Like,
Fuck it.
not a lot of good things happening in the space, while so many bad things are being brought to light. Widespread copyright use of training materials, shady business practices. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. And then some of the smart criticisms we're seeing of AI is like, we're really just glorifying a copy paste bot, like who's figured out how to parrot words in a convincing way. Like it's a lot of fun things are happening in the space, I think, that are good for us.
Peter?
Yeah. I don't know. The only thing that stuck out for me from this particular article was that it said that WhatsApp messages had been deleted, which seemed a bit suspicious. But this is just one article in Forbes. I mean, who knows what's actually going to happen?
Well, if
I
there's
kind of agree
one,
with John, that's not good lit, but
if there's one thing we know, it's that there are not enough AI companies. So what we need is a true genius to come in and revolutionize the space.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, it was about time.
I don't know what he was waiting for. Oh wait, didn't he help start OpenAI?
He contributed a bunch of money to it. Yeah. What is XAI, Elon Musk's new AI company, and will it succeed? I mean, I don't really have much faith in anything that he does succeeding these days, but
it's almost certainly pronounced some other stupid way.
It's obviously pronounced Zai.
I was thinking
this is his next child, by the way. This is like his third child that he's going to have. Third? How many kids has he got actually?
He's got a lot, but and then God knows how many like ghost kids he has that aren't in the press or like well, like there's some claims that he has like 20 kids running around in the world.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
he's got some problematic views on childbearing, I think, or like spreading his genes.
Yeah, he's a bit of a problem, but if we look at Elon's past successes, aka Elon's past fuck ups, I mean, this will be a moneymaker for everyone covering it. So it's going to be fun.
So the thing about XAI, right, is that the aim is to combat the problem of bias in like underlying bias in the models, and I think that his approach is going to be something along the lines of his approach with Twitter, which is to remove all bias, which means that it will say what it really means, kind of thing.
Yeah, somebody in the article said he would have us believe that the bias, without bias, the world is truly a more sexist and racist place. Let me find that quote.
That's right.
Yeah. So, concerned about ChatGPT because it was being trained to be politically correct, and he wanted a chatbot that would speak the truth, implying the truth was sexist and racist.
Yeah. Also, it should be noted that Elon Musk is one of the signatories of that letter that called to pause AI development for 6 months, at least. So I guess
while he continues to develop.
That.
Well, no, it was always said. We always said that anyone who signed that letter most likely had ulterior motives. They have their own agendas. Yeah. They just want to hamper the competition. That was the only purpose. And
I disagree with that position.
That's fine. You can totally disagree with it, Mike. You're wrong.
Certainly there were people with that motivation, but not everybody on the list.
Wrong. And
there 100% are people with legitimate concerns about AI.
I'm with John on this one, 100%. There's no one
so
smart
fun.
enough to be on that list who didn't realize fully what they were trying to do, which is
Yeah,
to catch
I
up.
mean,
the
sure, there
meantime.
might have been one or two people on that signature list that were like, nah, like bad AI. Like, no, dude, you're just scared because you read too many 1984-esque books. Like,
Wow, you're gonna get exactly what you deserve. The piece,
Uh,
the headline though that we didn't even mention is that the express mission of this new company is for the AI to develop AI that can understand the true nature of the universe.
oh, for God's sake.
it's so disconnected. Like, he's so disconnected from reality. And you know what? Where you can really see it. What always brings me back to this whenever I see some bullshit that he spews is the robot that Tesla made. You guys remember the humanoid robot that was like a joke?
Yeah.
They had like, oh my god, and all the like Tesla shills were like clapping in the crowd.
Wasn't there like a
nervously
person
because they
inside
would
the
be
first
shunned.
version of it or something?
Oh, was
I think
that
it was,
also?
yeah.
It's like everything has this opaque
Yeah.
like veil where behind it it's just bullshit. Same thing with like the
He's a
self-driving
performer.
Tesla. The self-driving Tesla ad was driven by a person. Like, it's all bullshit, and it's not a performance. He's a con man.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that con men are performers as well, but
Sure.
you know, but like, yeah, actually, the more I think about it, the more that makes sense. Like bringing that sync into Twitter on the first day of his work, like it's not even a good performance, really, is it? That's the sad thing.
No,
not
he's
a lot of
just
the time, anyway.
stupid. I mean,
No.
he's a clown. Allegedly, we don't know for sure.
Allegedly, we
He
still
graduated
are
from
waiting
clown school.
for a confirmation from the clown
Yeah.
school.
Show us the
to
diploma.
Verify. Yeah, we need to see
Where are
the
the
diploma.
transcripts?
Let's see the
I mean,
records.
Here's the question. I didn't think about asking this last time, but do you think a diploma from a clown school would actually be have to be fake? Have to be a joke?
Oh, that's a
diploma
good.
itself.
That's pretty meta. Like,
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna
kinda
say
like
that's
a-
very, very
yeah.
deep. Except there are actual clown colleges, Ringling Brothers,
Right,
Brothers
but
Clown
do these
College.
clown colleges, when you're graduating and you go to like shake the dean's
He
hand,
like squeezes
he
nose.
shocks you. He
Yeah.
shocks you first, you know, and then he like
Is it like
there
a-
to give you a paper, and then the paper turns into a dog balloon, right?
I
Like,
think
Yeah,
they,
yeah,
I
exactly.
think they
Like-
shoot it out of a Bugs Bunny gun.
oh,
like,
that makes
take
sense.
it.
They fire, they kill you, and then it unravels.
Yeah,
Boom,
yeah,
diploma. Yeah, that makes sense.
Pretty sure that's how it works.
All right, we got long enough.